Hello everyone, Namaste, it's Gore here. Welcome to another video. Today I want to share with you, which I consider the best way to start the day, moving our bodies and a little bit of time for self-care. If you like the video, you can share it with your friends, you can subscribe, and without further ado, let's start. So the first position is going to be Adho Mukha Virasana, or the child pose. In this position, we're going to keep the big toes together. We're going to open the legs, and we want to have enough space, just enough that we can go in between the legs. So we don't want to open too much, we don't want to open little, we want to open just enough. And then we start walking the hands forwards, keeping the arms and the back extended. So we don't want to go to sleep like we sometimes do in this child pose. We want to go into full extension of the arms and full extension of the back at the same time that I push my hips in the opposite direction. Now, when it comes to the hands, we have two options. You can remain in the fingertips, or you can place the palm on the mat. At the end, keeping the arms and the back extended, we can go and place the forehead on the mat, and we hold this position for about 5 breaths. Taking long inhalations, long exhalations. It's a very nice pose to get a nice extension in our trunk. A little bit of relaxation also when we place the forehead on the mat. With the next inhalation, we're going to come into an all-fours position. We're going to tag the toes, start elevating the hips, transitioning into a downward facing dog position. Now in this downward facing dog, we're going to open the hands and the feet at the edge of the mat so that we have more space to extend our body. And we're keeping the same principle as we did in the child pose, which is keeping the arms fully extended, the back fully extended, and we're pressing with our hands, extending towards the hips. So you're pushing away toward the hips. We hold this downward facing dog position for 5 breaths together. We stay 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's a static downward facing dog. Now we're gonna slowly start walking the hands back. You can walk the feet a little bit forwards. We're gonna keep the feet hip width apart. We're gonna go into Uttanasana, and in this Uttanasana we're going to focus on our hamstrings in the back of our legs. So we're gonna keep the legs fully straightened, even if the back is rounding a lot, is actually fine, because we're trying to target the legs. So we're gonna hold the opposite elbow, just hanging here. Try to relax the trunk, the arms, and the legs fully extended. So Trikonasana is one of my favorite asanas. It's a very wonderful asana to open the back of our legs, those very tight hamstrings that required a lot of extension. And once the hamstrings are open, then we can nicely get that same opening in our backs. So Uttanasana is a pose that I would recommend you guys to do every day. If you have time to do something, you can definitely do a good Uttanasana for about 1 minute, 2 minutes, even up to 5 minutes every day. Very, very wonderful position. So with the next inhalation, we're going to release the arms. We're going to get the feet hip width apart. And now we're gonna go all the way up into Urdhva Hastasana, taking the arms up. That's in the inhalation. And in the exhalation, we take the arms down, extending the back, releasing our head, and we do this 5 times. So we go with the inhalation to Urdhva Hastasana. And with the exhalation, we go back into Uttanasana. And exhalation, back into Uttanasana. Keeping the legs firm, extending the arms, extending the trunk. And in the exhalation, into Uttanasana. Last time, we go into Urdhva Hastasana. And exhalation, go into Uttanasana. Good job. Now we're going to take the hands on the hips with the next inhalation. Come up. We're going to open our legs into Prasarita Padottanasana. And the opening of the legs is going to be so much that the hands and the feet are in line with each other. That's how much you want to open the feet. That's how much you want to open the legs. Then we're going to take the hands on our hips. Inhale here, open the chest. Extend your back, and in the exhalation, keeping the legs firm, we're gonna go all the way down, and we stay here for 5. So we stay 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good job. With the next inhalation, we come all the way up. We start closing the legs. For the next position, which is one of my favorite positions at the moment, it's going to be Parigasana. So in Parigasana, you don't actually have to roll the mat if you feel that the cushion of your mat is enough to protect the knee. Otherwise, you can roll the mat, or even more, you can take a pillow or a blanket, yeah? In my case, I'm going to roll the mat a little bit. Now in Parigasana, we're going to start with the right leg, and I'm going to keep the right knee in line with the right hip. Now the left leg is going to open to the side. It's going to keep a 90-degree angle between the ankle, knee, and hip. Now, very important, the left foot is in line with the right knee, yeah? And very, very, very important, even the most important about this pose is that you want to keep the right hip in line with the right knee. So you don't want to come towards the left side. You want to keep it in line, and even you can actually push the right hip a little bit towards the right side. Now we're going to extend the right arm up, and in the exhalation, we're going to come towards the left side. The left elbow is going to come to the knee, and we can look towards the right arm. And we stay here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good job. Slowly come back to the center. So this Parigasana is a very nice position to extend the size of our trunk, which is a very difficult place to extend. Now we're going to go to the other side, going towards the left leg. So we keep the knee in line with the hip. Right leg is going to open to the side. We're going to extend the left arm up, and in the exhalation, we start extending the whole side of our trunk towards the right side. The right elbow is going to come towards the right knee. And we hold it here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good job. Slowly come back to the center. We can unroll our mat. Now the next position is going to be Ustrasana. So I'll give you the front of the pose here, and then I'll give you my side. We're going to keep the knees in line with the hips. Yeah? So we keep hips, knees in line. We're gonna take the hands behind on the top of our glutes. Now we're gonna keep the hips pretty steady, and we're gonna start taking the chest, the sternum, towards the ceiling. So we start opening the chest, the shoulders are going back. So you want to bring the scapulas together, and you don't want to push the abdomen forwards. So instead of pushing the abdomen forwards, you want to keep your hips rooted, stable, solid. So if you're gonna push something forwards, let it be your hips and not your abdomen. And we start taking the chest up. This is the option 1. You can stay with the hands on top of your butt, on the top of your butt, on the glutes. Or if you feel comfortable here and you don't feel any pressure in the lumbar, in the lower back area, you can start walking the hands a little bit below the glutes. And if you feel comfortable here, you can even take the hands all the way down towards the knees. This is a pretty intense pose, yeah, so be careful here. And we hold it here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The next inhalation, we bring the chin towards the chest. We're going to take the hips back. Now for the final position before going into full relaxation, we're going to keep the knees together, the feet together, hands are forwards. We're going to push our hands so that we can push our butt and hips back. We're going to sit on our heels. Very slowly, we're going to start rolling our backs forwards. Arms are gonna go back and forehead on the mat for this balasana or child pose 2. We start to relax our bodies, allowing that space to settle, that relaxation space. So this is child pose 2. In the beginning of this practice, we did child pose 1, which is an extension of the back. And this child pose 2, our backs are rounding. Now we move the hands forwards. We start to come out of the pose, and we're gonna go into full relaxation, Shavasana. So we're gonna sit on the mat, bending the knees. You can hold the back of your knees, and you're gonna start rolling your back vertebra by vertebra down on the mat. Hold your head and take your chin towards the chest. Extend the legs one by one. And in the exhalation, place the back of your head on the mat. Extend the arms along the body. And we give space for a full relaxation here in Shavasana. So the name of this pose, in case you don't know it, is Shavasana, the full relaxation. So in this Shavasana, you can stay at least for a couple, hopefully 5 minutes and up to 10 minutes. So the Shavasana can extend for a long period of time. Hopefully we don't fall asleep, but just allow that space of full relaxation, no movement, no action. Stay with your thoughts, with your breath, and see you next time.